Good evening, one and all. It is Friday, it's the end of the working week, and it is time that we are going to jump into some more good old Warframe. I have too many relics. There is no doubt about this. I have too many relics. I mean, you don't get to be this many years into being a content creator and having literally too many relics. It's just bound to happen. I've got a nice amount of M4 relics, but everything else is stupid. And I don't actually know how many I have. Queen asking, are we actually counting your relics? I mean, you don't have to, but I'm going to. I got the idea to count how many relics I have, and I'm going to count how many relics I have. And then we're going to reduce that number. But the first things first is we are indeed going to deal with that. Although along the way there, poor Phil, thank you very much for dropping your sub here. Once again, 29 months of support. Much appreciated. Cheers indeed on that. Cheers indeed. Hello, Lato. How are you doing today? So we do have a few relics to investigate. Somewhere down here, it's going to stop scrolling through relics I own and start scrolling through relics I don't own. It's going to take a little moment longer. Ah, there it is. There we go. So we only need to go halfway down the bar, which makes sense when we look at the collected versus potential total at the top there. I feel sorry for anyone who tries to complete that collection.
Getting close to a year, how time flies.
How it flies indeed. Plasma Storm, thank you very much for continuing support here on the channel as well. Much appreciated for the 10 months. Cheers. Crescendo asking, which is my favourite relic? Weirdly enough, I think I have an answer. Lith C4, because it is the only one that sticks in my mind. And that is why it has to be my favourite. It's the only one I remember. It is the Chroma Prime Neuroptics there. This one dropped a lot from the, I believe it was the Lith Defense Mission on Earth. I was just ending up with so many of these relics that even now, when it's been out of rotation for I don't even know how long, I still have 41 of them left. Still have 41 of them left. That's how many of them dropped. And no one needs this. That's evergreen, that's evergreen, that's evergreen, that's evergreen. And then you got these two pieces up here, which, let's face it, how many Chroma Primes does anyone need? So, by pure infamy, this one is my favourite. That's it. Because, let's face it, who really actually needs a favourite relic? That's just, yeah. Silly question met with neat answer? Yeah. Yeah, you think you can surprise me with a completely boondoggling question like that after the stream we had just a couple days ago? I know my insanity. I know my insanity. And so with that insanity in mind, let's get to counting. I'm going to go through counting these in era so that I also can, well, just have the information divided by era, because why not? And so we must begin where we begin. We begin right at the top. And let's just grab the calculator, because my oh my, is this going to be necessary? Because I've got 2 lots of 59, and then that is 3 plus 5, 8, 9 times 58. Yeah, we're actually doing this, by the way. Plus 57, plus 54, plus 53. Plus 3 lots of 52, 51, 3 49s, and 2 48s. That's just 96. 2 47s, 46, 2 45s, 2 42s. We're taking some nice jumps down here. Can a Leica frame count your relics for you? Maybe. I didn't actually think to check that. Anyway, I'm here now. In for a penny, in for a pound, you know, let's just finish what we've started. Let's see, we got 35, 1, 2, 34s, 33, couple 32s, couple 31s. Calculator saying, please finish this equation and start a new one, so we will. I'm at 2,105 here so far. And then we got 20... Ooh, answer plus. No, answer plus, there we go. 28 times 3, plus a 27, plus 75 of the 25, so that's 24. There's a 23 times 3, there's a 22 in there, I see 21 times 3. Oh, well, there are more 21s down here. And then 100, close to 20s. 19s, we got 3 of them. 3 18s. 4 17s. I got 1, 2, just 2 16s. Okay. 15s, that's another 60 of them. 14s, I see 6, 7, 8. 14s. 13s, just the 3. 12s, that's 5, 6 of them, 72. 10s, just the pair. 7s, we're down to 14. 12, 5. Here we go. 8 and 6 and 1. And my total count for Lith Relics, 3,192. Let's hope I don't miscount. Calculator. Can't go wrong when I'm just following along. That actually rhymed. So here we go. We can update the first bit here. 3192 Lith Relics. There we go. I have more than half your total in just lifts. Well, I mean, I might have far fewer of the following ones. I'm surely not going to have 3,000 axes. But let's go with the Miso Relics now. Miso Relics, we have 70 by 4 plus 69, just the one of those. Pair of 68s. We've got a 66, a 62, 61, 60, 55, 53 times... Ooh, there's a few of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. The way it goes. 51, 50, 2 48s, 47, a 46 times 3, 43 times 3. And that's 2 42s, a 40, 4 39s. And that's 3 38s. Pair of 37s. Okay, saying please start adding in more. There we go. And a 36, 35, 2 34s, which is 68, 33, 32, 31. Only the most riveting content here on this channel, of course. 2 30s, a 29, a 28, a 27 times 3, a 26 times 2, which is just 52. And 48 for the 24s, 23, 66 on the 22s, 63 on the 21s, 60 on the 20s, 57 on the 19s. Okay, just following along. 18s, I got 5 of those, that's plus 90. And then 3 17s, 51. Don't know why that one didn't jump to mind straight away. 15, and then 14s, we got 4 of those, 56. 39 in the 13s, a 12, 11, 10, 27, 24, 14, 10, 4, and 1, so that's 5. Okay, Miso Relics total, 3,252. Which is actually more than the Lith. Okay. More Misos than Liths, there we go. So yeah, I've now surpassed you there, J-Nut. Let's move on to the Neo. As normal, I figured it would be Mirrorlab, yeah. Given the types of missions we engage in, we don't spend that much time on the lower tiers. It's just kind of how it is, isn't it? Next for these. 53 Neo and 49 and 47, blah, blah, blah. 47 we've actually got 2 stacks of that. 46 times 5 of them. 45 is a loan, 42 is a loan, 40 twice for 80. And a 39, and a 38, and 37 times 2, and 36, and 35. Times how many? 3 of them. Was it 34? A 33 times 2. I should have put 66, whatever. 31 times 3 for a good old 93. 60. 28, 27, 26 times 2. 75. 24. Calculator's beginning to argue. 23 times 2 plus 22 times 4 plus a bit from Sir Kelton. Thank you very much. 1 times 2 plus 80. 38. How many 18s? 90. 34. 16. How many 15s? That's another 90. Hey, hold on, no. There's 7 of them. So many of them. That's 105. 28. Nearly there. 13s, there's another 5 13s, that's 65. 12. 2 11s. 3 10s. 4 9s. 7 8s. A 7. Couple 6s. Triple 4s and an exceptional at the end there. Beautiful. Neo count is 2,194. Okay. Before I go on to the axes then, I think prediction on this one. How many axes? Let's give a range here. 0 to 499. 500 to 999. 1,000 to 1,499, 1,500 to 1,999, or over 2,000 plus. There we go. I'm just going to give you 30 seconds on this. Quick response, quick prediction. Why not? How many axis relics am I going to find I have? Make your prediction. You've got only 30 seconds on that there. Throw some spanners into it, and then we'll find out who is the closest to right. Wakey wakey prediction in the chat. Let's see, we've got a couple people thinking it's going to be in the low 1,000 mark. Oh, big bets on high 1,000. Bet on below 500, fair do. Bet on over 2k, we'll see. Alright, that's your 30 seconds. Now let's actually reveal the page and start counting. I did reveal it moments ago, but I only saw part of it anyway. 53 times 2 plus 47. Where you're supposed to bet? It popped up on the screen in the chat there with the prediction. If you didn't see it pop up, you probably didn't have the chat open. Or Twitch decided to be a dick about it. I don't know. Twitch does things. I don't understand them. Twitch doesn't understand them. So it's a simple case of no one understands it. Right. 23. Oh, 66 from the 22s. There's 21. There's a 40. Yeah, if you didn't see it and you had the chat open and you were watching stream, maybe it just didn't want to show you it. Maybe the stream has come to the conclusion that you just don't care about predictions, and so when one pops up, it goes, oh, this person doesn't click them. Honestly, it could just be it just broke. Some people click through. It was there on my screen. That's all I can really say for you, sorry. I could have set it to be longer to give people more time to go, wait, it's not showing, and start digging through things, but then I also wanted to just get counting the relics. Not that big. 13, 24, 55, 50. And then that is 9 by 6, 54. And that on the 8s. The 7s. The 6s, the 5s, 3s, and the lonely 2 at the bottom there with no upgraded axes. The total of the axes comes to 1,033. 1,033. There we go. So it's in the low thousands, only just squeaking over the line there. There we go. Let's see, 6 of you guessed it was going to be that there, and Stygiax absolutely winning the pot there with the biggest number of spanners total gambled on that spot. Congrats to you, 6. Okay, so who threw down the 4K? Porfin. Oof. Oof. Sorry, Porfin. You were off by a few hundred there. Didn't work out for you in the end. Not to worry. Right, let's add that on to the total here. That is 1033 Axie Relics. And then there's lastly the Requiems. Oh no, this is going to take so long to count. 29, 28, 25, 25, 14, 1, 122. Total then of all of these is 3192, 3252, 2194, 1033, and the 122. 9,793. Not quite 10,000 relics, but it is astonishingly close to 10,000 relics. Radiant 2 out of 5? I guess this one counts as Radiant. I guess. It's the only thing that makes sense here, and it is max rank, so I guess Radiant is counting how many are max rank, rather than how many are Radiant. The fun things we find in the code. Change of plans, get relics to 10k. Pass. I'm going to hard pass on that. Let's crack open some of these shiny baubles. Let's see what relic fishers are available, which one I want to throw my head against, and which one I'd like to bring you lot in to join in on as well. Have we got a nice fast capture? No. Let's try normal mode. Have we got a nice fast capture? Still no. Huh. That's a little rude. Okay, then we might as well just do a steel power fisher of some other type then. Let's see, we've got exterminate there on the Mars. That's usually a pretty quick one. Yeah, I can't really be bothered to do those right now, so Lith exterminate steel path on Mars. If you'd like to be part of that, send me a message in game, the Engineer, and I'll bring you on into the squad. We'll crack open some of those Lith relics, and for that I do have a bunch, as we just counted. LU, come on into the squad. Mirrorlib, I'm assuming, yep, that's come into the squad. There we go. And let's see, with these Lith relics, and well, I did mention the C4, so we might as well just throw a bunch of traces into that, because it makes absolutely no sense to do so, and that's exactly why I'm going to do it. Oh, I just received a lot of messages there. Let's see who was actually the final squad member. It was Regnak. Come on in there, Regnak. Which means very sorry, Ductile. Very sorry, Darth Washbear. Unfortunately, a little too slow on the draw on that one. Alright. We have the squad. We have the relics. And we have a desire to reduce the number of relics I own. Which is also why we're not doing endless fishers. Because that would give me relics. And that's a bit bad. There we go. Lovely, lovely, lovely. We have LU equipped with absolutely nothing. Just some dude walking into the mission. Along with a giant Araxia. Yup, yup, yup. You have an Xbox 360. I'm fairly certain the 360 doesn't run Warframe. Capture, I don't think gives relics if you're not in the Void. Void missions uniquely give relics where their normal versions do not.
thought I was done.
Oh, hello, Vina. Why are you here? Not entirely sure. Did someone just summon a Vina? Do we need a Vina?
You have collected enough reactant to open your relic.
Guess she's here now anyway. Whoever brought her. Vina goes where Vina pleases. I mean, completely valid. Yep. Don't need permission from me to say where to go.
You cannot stop the witch.
You know what? I changed my mind. I am going to tell her where to go. Away. She crazy. Yeah, Queen, you might want to look up when the Xbox 360 was discontinued.
Well done. Now get to extraction.
I'm fairly certain the time where the Xbox 360 was the main console is a shorter time period than the amount of time it's been discontinued. Just straight up. Well, I'm gonna just take the Ulthus Blade, I guess. I don't know which is more valuable. Don't think I care. That's what I brought.
My sector, my
Oh, yep, there we are. Queen's found out what they've actually been gifted. A fancy DVD player. Yeah. Xbox 360 discontinued when? Okay. That search didn't help. Let me try this one. Discontinued. Ah, yes, there we go. 2016. Yeah. Which apparently is still closer to today than the launch is to when it was discontinued. So fair enough. 11-year run. 10.5. And we're not quite 10.5 years past that discontinuation. Still got a few more months until that tipping point. So, yeah, it's a little old. Ah, Mirrorly, we have 5 gifts this time. Interesting. What are these 5 gifts? They are a 30-day resource drop chance booster. Nice. They are a 30-day affinity booster. Nice. They are a 30-day resource booster. Nice. And a 30-day credit booster. Nice. Oh, let me guess. Maybe miscount. A relic pack containing 2 ire and 3 relics. I didn't even think to count the ire. That might take a while. Thank you very much there for the relics. Now, as for whether or not I may have miscounted, I counted at the start of the stream, didn't I? Before any of that happened, so I'm fine. I don't need to update the count. The goal message is just about what I had at the start. Ire doesn't count because you use it in all areas. Well, I mean, I could just put it as its own thing. Let me just do a quick... Aya! 405. There we go. 405 ire. From Either Ways, Ken, any plans to do a video on Railjack with Mark IV stuff? Yes. It won't be the next video. Next video comes out tomorrow on not that, but it'll probably be the video after that.
Smart me. Yes.
I'll be very honest with you, this week has been absolutely terrible for me for video making, and it's not been a technical issue, it's not been a gameplay issue, it's been 100% a me issue going. I'm getting not a lot done for the first half the week. I've ended up with a video that has been done in a completely different process to my usual video making process, because every time try to think towards it. The music of it wasn't there. The symphony of instruments, no one turned up. The conductor was ready to wave their wand, and not a peep to be heard in the orchestra. Had to figure a different way to break the mental block on that one. You know, I think, like, Ken, it's Warframe. How could there be a mental block? You know, like, writing a magnum opus of the final chapter of Game of Thrones. It's like, no, true, but, like, still taking topic and turning to compelling video just didn't want to happen. Brain said nah. So I've just taken a completely different approach. Much more casual approach to it. We'll see what y'all think.
Been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside.
Damn, relic already cracked. That was quick. Very quick. No, literally quick. Quincy. No idea what's going on, has he? Oop, back this way. Hello. I still don't like that enemies become invulnerable for a while when they get corrupted. Because it doesn't feel like they should have any reason to be invulnerable. They're just kind of freaking out over, oh no, void stuff, and then we shoot them, they instantly evaporate. Just feels weird.
Broken. Well done. Now get to extraction.
Oh well. We can only optimize relic fishers so far, chat. At some point we have to play the game. Terrifying, I know. Oh, pseudo prime receiver. We'll take that one. I can't remember. Has Levos Prime been vaulted yet? Let's have a look here. Levos Prime. Nope. Not yet. Fair enough. I do kind of lose track as to how long things have been in the game at this point. It all starts to blur together. Which was it we just did? Not that one. I can't see it. I will just grab it from here. There we are. Gyro's still a recent Warframe, right? Definitely yes. The whole storyline with the Zaraman and Angel Zaraman, just yesterday. So recent. And so thoroughly explained as to how that ship can just kind of appear, having previously appeared but not appeared because, like, you know, it got lost, but then we were found. But then, if we were found, then where did the ship go after we were found? And yeah, I'll be quite honest, I still don't understand that bit. We were on the Zaraman. We got stuck in the void. Our parents and every other adult went absolutely loco. We then survived the void by making a deal. Left the void in that we were found when things... Then we're with the Orokin. Orokin do absolutely terrible things because they're Orokin. It's kind of a given at this point. And then some undisclosed amount of time later, the Zaraman returns again for us to go back to. No, I just don't know how that works. I'm gonna be very honest with you. We are many years past that storyline. erupting, and I still don't get it. Portfit saying because the current Zaraman is connected to Devuri, it's very likely the Zaraman system right now is Drifter Zaraman. Operator Zaraman was likely scrapped by the Orokin. So we got 2 Zaramans, whereupon the first Zaraman to come through was our Zaraman, but now we have this Zaraman, whereupon we are still the ones that the Holdfast referred to as keeping it together rather than Drifter. Which means there was 2 Zaramans now. Not just 2 of us, but 2 entire ships and therefore 2 of all of the people involved? Or how many people got duplicated? Some people got duplicated. Kind of. Or re-embodied, or... present. No, I don't get it. Janet saying to fair, the Holdfast never say who they're talking to between a operator and Drifter Tanner. Fair enough, yeah. If I recall, the whole Duviri itself explaining... Hey, look at that. Explaining the whole Drifter bit, that came out after Angels of Zaraman, didn't it? Even though it could be played before it. Purple request? Yep.
You earn,
Purple.
I take. Now I make the rules.
Oh yeah, I have a lich, yeah, I should probably do all that at some point. Yeah, I'll be honest, I just don't get it. I'm sure I'm overthinking it. I'm probably acting like there's supposed to be some rational explanation rather than just, yeah, nah, one just came through at one point and then one came through at another point. That's just how it is. Maybe I just need to accept that. It be what it be and that it do. I don't like that. It's fine, chat. Sure doobie doo. That a doobie doobie doo. Indubitably. So they called it Eternalism when they had a much better name for it right there and they refused to use it? Oh, they had a better name for it. What's this better name for it? Because I believe they used Eternalism as they were basing it on the philosophical concept of Eternalism. I'd say IRL, but the concept is, the reality is debatable. That's the whole point. The Warframe played at high levels just nuts? Yeah, it's kind of bonkers. Especially as I'm just kind of casually cruising. What's the most bonkers bit to you there, goody goods? What's the most nuts part of it? Aside from the bolts. Oh, hello, Stalker. Come to ruin someone's day again, have you? Yeah, ruined a recording I was making earlier. Where's he? Where's he? Okay, I'm guessing not this way, so he must be back that way. If Mirrorlade's dealing with them, they're dealing with them very slowly. Guess I'm not over there. Maybe up this way? And just no one's marked him? I'm also not seeing. Oh, there he is. There we go. Hi! Whenever you're ready. Oh. Well, my cat exploded, and he evaporated. Janet saying they invented the term palimpsest of... Oh, Twitch, I was reading that. Palimpsest of space-time. Used it twice, there's a lesson Review tablet and forgot about it. Huh. Yeah, I don't recognize that phrase at all, I'll be honest with you. Yep. Porphin, so I've heard, yeah. The Eternalism used in game doesn't quite match up with Eternalism. Yeah. Eternalism, says Jaina, means past, present, future all equally real. If you're willing to give them some creative freedom, it could imply a movement between the past, present, future as well as possible. Sirius and Ryan going upstream will be due to Eternalism. This has nothing to do with parallel presence, only time reference frames. Yeah. Gonna say speed and accuracy. Playing Soulframe for 2 years, but finally trying Warframe, just overwhelmed. Oh, you've come at this from a very interesting angle then. Soulframe into Warframe. That's not going to be many people at this point in time who've taken that route, but hey, welcome on in all the same. And Wally wanting an instrument or rock? Sure. Now, am I really that accurate? No. Only 38%. Look at Mirror Lane there, 8%. Ugh. 0 damage taken. Dealt the most that's going to be Mirror Lane magic as usual. It's dealt the most damage on 6 kills. Regnak here, one actually killing things. Very right there, Porphin. Yes, a lot of Warframe accuracy is through volume. We don't need to worry about where the enemy is. We just need to worry about which direction they're in. As long as that direction has been deleted, the enemy is dead. This is very unlike Soulframe, where my experience so far has been much more a case of, okay, I'm dealing with this target, I'm dealing with that target, I've got this brief heavy AoE arrow spell thing, yeah. It's a little ironic, having gone through the long sleep that we did, but then Quincy here is telling us to wake up. Like, broski, you're at risk of triggering something there. The child soldier that slept for unknown eons, woken up by their false mother, probably doesn't need to suddenly enter a mission and hear wake up. We've been there. Oh yeah, the whole enemies in that direction. Alright, remove in that direction. Couldn't be more true than with Tauron strikes when you got them charged. I don't know if I'm going to get one charged to this mission. We're going to find out. Probably not. It's only 3/4 charged, and that's with all the bonuses I have on it. Yep, mission complete.
Another successful mission. Fine extraction.
No Tauron strike for me. Despite, what, over 80,000 focus.
Yo, let's bounce.
But yeah. Nope. Look like that person nearly flew straight over the exit. I've got a bunch of these lots. Let's take the one item I don't have many of. Does it make sense? Don't care. In a sea of silver be the bronze, or something equally motivational poster.
Lord me. Yes, my sector, my kingdom, you pay.
Yes, as well. That's a good way of putting it. Tauron strikes really do be the, this is a public service announcement version of a bullet has your name on it. To those it will concern. Let's just check what my setup is for the Tauron. Have I got it set for maximum charging? Probably, but let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Yep, Tauron charge, initial charge. Yikes, 36%, yeah. With 41.2% faster charging. Have I got lens on everything? Lens. Everything that can reasonably take a lens is lensed. Yep. Dear grid coordinates. Very, very much so. That is all of those relics that we have there. Let's see, what do we want? Someone in the squad, not Mirror, you have everything. Regnat probably also has everything. In fact, wait, hang on. Oh crap, I'm the lowest MR in the squad. Your stream is washed up, sorry. I'm a noob now. Lowest level of the entire squad. Oh, I guess I'll pick something to bring then. What seems like a fun relic? Harrow! Why not? There we go. How close am I to the next? Only halfway. Yeah, kind of been slacking. Kind of been slacking. And by slacking, I mean I actually just don't care to chase MR. If it happens, it happens. The difference between Legendary 5 and Legendary 6 is a single tradable Legendary core. And otherwise, not really a thing of consequence. I'm good. I could put in the effort, but then I just don't want to. I really just don't want to. And this is a video game, so we're allowed to say things like that and be like, yep, that's a legit reason. Even as the context of my place of work, I could still just do that. Which is neat.
You have collected enough reactant to open the relic.
Yep. Shooting at corpses as they disintegrate. Not very effective. Seriously? Can the highlight vanish on these corpses a little quicker? Aha! Shoot the guy. Nope, dead. Shoot that guy. No, he's also dead. Shoot that guy. He's invulnerable. And then he's dead. There we go.
Broken. Well done. Now get to extraction.
You know the new status DOT update? Oh yeah. Be able to look at enemy and go, huh, this one's already dead. He just hasn't figured it out yet. You just walk off. Yup. Very effective. The only downside to it is that you can then see every time your status damage gets absolutely nuked by someone else's poxy addition to it. You hit an acolyte with literally lineage ending damage. The entire bar is filled with this mottled green. Like, yeah, you're gonna die. And then the entire health bar just turns back to yellow with one little sliver of green.
Yes, my sector, my kingdom.
Did someone just hit him with a slash proc? After I hit him with a lethal slash procs? Did someone add a 5th slash proc to that? There's just a guy with a practically unmodded ratting it. I can help. He was gonna die. Just had to wait 1 second for it to tick. He was dead. Dear. Yeah, the fact that it takes the most recent 4 procs rather than the most powerful 4 procs is a little frustrating at times. A little frustrating. Alright, let's see. Someone mentioned Jaya. That's all the reason I need to bring a Jaya relic. You didn't know there are other versions of Heat Inherit? There's not even a Heat Inherit or any kind of inheritance. It's just, on status-resistant enemies, only the last 4 procs of that type are applied. So if I go lethal slash proc, and then they go poxy proc, replace. And now they've got 4 poxy tiny little procs that no one cares about. Terrible procs, the worst procs. Honestly, not the procs you ever want. Me, I have only the best procs. We all know it. Yeah.
Hey, too slow. Plonker.
That's what it really comes down to. And you will now visually see that happening on the Acolyte. You'll watch the health bar go from green to yellow. Like, but you were dead. Like, yeah, I got better. Ruinous.
You have collected enough reactant to open your relic.
No, that was, again, very quick on the reactant. Not even a minute into the mission. Yep. I keep on seeing enemies that I am not allowed to shoot. Or at least, I can shoot them, it just doesn't do anything. There's an idea for a an augment that could go on to, say, Kome. Because Kome strings up enemies, similar to how Blood Altar there is skewing them. Kome strings them up, and it could be something voodoo-esque. Wherever you shoot the target, all other targets with the same name get hit in that same spot. So if you are targeting a butcher, yeah, you're going to hit the butcher, and you'll hit other weak butchers nearby, but it won't carry over to elite lancers or heavy gunners, that sort of thing. And it means then for bosses, of which there'll only ever be the boss unit, well, there's nothing to carry over, is there? Lavo! I wasn't even trying for Lavo, but we'll take it. Could be overpowered? I mean, how overpowered could it really be?
My sector, my rules.
So we're saying similar to Nezha's Divine Retribution. Let me just double check on the wording on that. Divine Retribution. Status is spread to all speared enemies. So, yes, but no. That one is status spread, and it's to all the enemies, and it's the ones which are specifically speared. I'm taking a very unique approach to that, which is it's on a type basis, on a named basis. Hence the whole voodoo aspect. The doll matches the target. In this case, the doll is also one of the targets. We'll just give it a very unique approach to it. From Coop, what number system would I say is the most misunderstood in the game in how it works? Oh, I was surprised at just how many people don't understand crit tiers. I'll be very honest, that one slightly broke me when I was quizzing people last year. The number of people that misunderstood how the crit tiers work and crit damage works was just a lot. So that's probably right the way up there. Accuracy used to be just completely incomprehensible, so they changed that. But you say number system? I wonder if you'd accept the answer multiplicative.
Ooh, yes.
It's becoming an increasing pet peeve of mine when people talk about things as being multiplicative, using that as the entire adjective. Not an explanation as to how it operates, because multiplying is an operator in a mathematical equation. No, they're not using it to explain that. They're using to say it is more powerful because it multiplies in part of the equation, except everything multiplies in some part of some equation somewhere because they all have more than just one bit that adds. There's a lot going on. We got a Lavo. Let's grab another Lavo. Why not? The shorthand of saying, is Galvanized Aptitude multiplicative on this gun, is skipping out a few words of, is it multiplicative in combination with things like Serration or Deadhead? And then the answer will be yes or no. But when someone refers to a new feature and says, oh, and this is really great because it's multiplicative. Yeah. Multiplicative to what? That you can't just say multiplicative and have it mean something. That is, I think, where people are really getting thrown off. Because it's leading to people trying to weigh in on the conversation of the mathematics of Warframe without actually using the words necessary for a conversation on the mathematics of Warframe. And so then someone else coming along after that, trying to understand what someone said, they go, oh, this doesn't make sense, why can't I get it? You look at what they were listening to, is oh, because the person you spoke to didn't get it. It doesn't make sense because it's wrong. Janet's saying, you mean when you say multiplicative to base damage instead of additive with a separate term in the equation? Yeah, when someone says multiplicative to base damage, usually one would hope they mean multiplicative to pure damage mods like Serration. And I use pure damage rather than base damage, because base damage to me would usually mean the base weapon itself. Whereupon basically every modifier is multiplicative to that stuff. That's where everything multiplies from in the first place. Hey, another Lavo. Oh, that's wonderful. Everyone jumping onto golden Lavo. But yeah, it's just... oh, it becomes a lot to dig through. It becomes a lot to unpack for people. What was one I came across recently? Actually, I think it was with Nidus? Hold on. Yeah. If I just grab up Parasitic Link. Here we go. Modified strength bonus increases ability strength. Nope, that's the wrong bit. I was looking for damage bonus. Yep, damage bonus from Parasitic Link. According to the wiki, the damage bonus is multiplicative to other damage bonus sources, such as Serration, and is a global multiplier. So, okay, good, that's a great way of phrasing it. Damage bonus does not affect the damage gained from additive condition overload sources. So, if someone were lazily using additive and multiplicative, they would then say, oh, okay, so Parasitic Link is additive to condition overload when it is additive. When it too is additive. The thing is condition overload is never itself simply additive, it's additive to something. And if you were to describe Parasitic Link as additive to condition overload when it is additive to Serration, then that would imply an equation which is Parasitic Link plus condition overload plus Serration, which is incorrect. It is Parasitic Link is additive to condition overload's bonus, which is separately additive to the Serration bonus, but Serration bonus multiplies with the Parasitic Link bonus. Whereupon you realise, oh, we're no longer dealing with a nice lovely string of just put the terms in once. No, now we need to start putting things in parentheses. Now we need to start repeating terms. And one realises very quickly that something can be both additive and multiplicative because of the equation using more than just a single word to define itself. Oh dear, why have you made this game so complicated? It's getting harder to explain every year. So much harder. Equinox! Nope, that's a Mesa one. Well, it's got an Equinox in there as well. Yeah, none of these have anything higher, so let's just go in the Mesa one, why not? One Masanox, a relic, let's bring it. I'll keep on upgrading them. We might keep getting value out of them. You get the Daemon Slab drones for your ship? Yes. Yes, you can. I don't remember where I got them, but you can indeed get them. Now, Spruce. Spruce. We have some people here who are really quite new to the game, the last thing they need to know is about unattributed damage. Whereupon the game has decided that this damage source doesn't need to actually have a source. The damage, it just happens. But if it just happens, then it's not a case of it doesn't have a source. Rather, it now has every source. When things check for a trigger, they're checking for a not wrong trigger, apparently. So when something should be checking, is this from a primary weapon? It's actually checking, is this from something that is not a primary weapon? And if the answer is, it's not from not a primary weapon, it goes, oh cool, that's fine then. Unattributed damage. Wiki that term at your own peril. Or I might just make a video on it. I'm not sure what a video on unattributed damage would look like, I'm going to be very honest with you. But it might be worth a video, if nothing else, to just let people know this is just how stupid it gets. If you thought you understood Warframe, no. It's not that simple. You see those railjack guns on the front of a railjack that are very clearly railjack guns? Yeah, they activate melee influence and some secondary arcane that turns puncture into cold. Also in railjack it's not actually true puncture and true cold, but they still use the same names, just to confuse you even harder. How would I even demonstrate it? Well, with railjack for one. Here is a railjack benefiting from an arcane, and here is a railjack triggering an arcane. You can't put arcanes on a railjack. You can't. I can also demonstrate it in other ways, like how Noko's latest augment, which gives Noko the ability to deal toxin procs with its sprottling form by creating other sprottlings that do said toxin procs. Despite that being very clearly an ability delivering toxin procs, Archon Continuity does not see that toxin and give it corrosive as well. But if you have the Venato Prime equipped, the toxin will deliver Tau procs. That is demonstrable. That is visible. And that is damn near inexplicable. Yeah. Let me just Venato. Noko. Oh no. Did I leave it? There it is. Reroute Rampage. All the things fell off of it for some reason. Must have been demonstrating something. That, because we know it works on everything except Reroute Rampage. That's another fun thing. And I don't want to think, so I'm going to grab Energize and just not think. Okay, cool. Hopefully I can demonstrate this before people obliterate the entire map. Maybe I can't. We'll find out. Ooh, I do have Limbo Relics. Why do I have Limbo Relics? Alright. Yeah, I don't know why I have Limbo Relics. It seems a bit weird to have at this point, but... eh. Okay, so if I just start going poppity poppity pop. I need you. There we go. Right then. Let's just start getting some Sprodlings on here. And, yep, for the briefest millisecond that that enemy remained alive, whilst the people in the squad knew I was trying to demonstrate, we can see a Tau proc. I kept them in the squad because I just didn't want to kick them whilst demoing this, but... Right, you there. There we go, look at that there. Tau procs. Exactly matching the number of toxin procs on the target. Why? Because I have the Venato Prime equipped. And the Venato Prime, when the Venato deals status effects, will apply Tau. You'll notice that if I shoot things... No Tau. No Tau. No Tau. Tau. It's a melee thing. Or an attributed thing. Is Sprodlin Toxin considered melee? Quite the opposite. Sprodlin Toxin is considered nothing. And the Venato effect isn't asking, is it done by a melee? It's asking, is it done by something that is not melee? And unattributed damage is not melee. It's undefined. And when it's undefined, it's not melee, so the criteria of being not melee is met. So the criteria of being not melee is met, and so we can apply. It's just backwards. Basically, unattributed damage is everything. But unattributed damage can't get the benefits of being everything. Does Fortify work? Yes. Yeah, I'm fairly certain I've demoed that one as well. I could put it on for the next mission to verify. Yeah, we'll take that one. Why not? You promote another creator? You're going to have to give me a hell of a lot more explanation than that. Because otherwise the default answer is no. They can promote themselves.
Everyone who passes through my sector pays tax to Lord.
Neither, J-Nut.
Yes,
Unattributed
my
damage is not a
sector,
blood
my
type.
kingdom, you pay.
Poor Vincent, I should just think why it's been coded that way. I wonder too, honestly. I don't know how something can be allowed to have a not source. Oh yeah, there's a lot of things that do unattributed damage, yes. Yeah, let me just equip that old Fortify real quick. Actually, you know what? I'm going to equip it to my arc gun. Oh, yep, actually I've got on the arc gun, so I just need to deploy the arc gun, then this should work. If I deploy the arc gun, that activates the arc gun, and that should be enough to make it work. Theoretically. Yo, Ibs! Thank you very much for dropping by there, and thank you for the kind words. Welcome in, and I hope you enjoy the Twitch stream all the same as well. We've lost our Fisher there, but there's a new one over on Saturn, so let's go do that instead. What have I got here in our terms of refined? Well, let's make that a little better, shall we? Boom, let's go. Janet say, does it feel like a deliberate design thing? Well, yeah, but more like an oversight. It's more the how the oversight comes to be. In order for something to trigger, it must have a triggering condition that it's looking for. And it leads me to then ask, what does that triggering condition look like? Because if a secondary arcane says you must deal damage with your secondary, and I deal damage with not secondary, and trigger it, what has happened? Okay, so I've got some Overguard here. I'm going to go ahead and just find some Xmas units. I don't care about everything else. All I care about is Xmas units. God, that was a heavy knockover. Come on, Overguard. I literally don't care about anything else. Something with Overguard, please. Well, at least my initial Overguard is gone, so that's good. Oh, hello. Oh, I heard it's Overguard vanish. No bueno. I'm gonna find some more, it's fine. And someone's cat ate that one. Who is near to me? Aha, here we go.
Your relic is opened.
Now I just need to get a Sprodling to attack it. And I'm gaining Overguard. Or rather, I gained Overguard. It was over very quickly. But there we go. Yep, I gained Overguard. There you are. That's your demonstration there. I only put it onto my Arc Gun. My Arc Gun's secondary arcane, which asks if I dealt damage with the Arc Gun or secondary to a target with Overguard. When it took damage from my reroute, gave me Overguard. Like I say, I wonder what the trigger is actually written like to allow that to happen. That it'll go, this damage didn't come from a secondary. But I don't know where it came from, so I guess I'll treat it like it might have come from a secondary. Huh? Yeah. Now the thing is that with unattributed damage, it doesn't become every damage source. So like, primary deadhead and secondary deadhead don't benefit unattributed damage. It doesn't make that unattributed damage stronger because it's neither primary nor is it secondary. And those buff primary and secondary. However, if the thing says when a primary does this damage, it looks at the unattributed damage and goes, well, I can't say it didn't come from a primary, so let's act like it did.
You will be cleansed.
Why? First of all, why is there a damage source that's allowed to just not source itself? And second, why are we giving it the benefit of the doubt? No. So yeah, very, very weird stuff. Very, very weird stuff. Let's see. Yeah. If you have the right setup, it can allow you to take a bit of unattributed damage, which acts as if it's from any and all sources, to proc all arcanes that could be related to it at the same time. As well as weapon passives like Venato Prime. It's just... Calamity, cheers. The engineer one saying, is there some stuff that triggers on specific weapons that does not trigger on unattributed damage, that is not a buff to the unattributed damage? I don't actually understand the question. Let me try that again. Is there some stuff, so, yeah, that triggers on specific weapons? Now I need to remember every weapon. Not great. That does not trigger on unattributed. That is not a buff to the unattributed damage. How could it... What's going on with those two stipulations there? How are they different stipulations? If something doesn't trigger on unattributed damage, then what's different from... Yeah, how is it... Is there a thing out there that does buff unattributed damage? If it's not triggered on that. Yeah, the question seems like you haven't phrased that right. Just saying, something that does not trigger like Merciless but can increase damage. Okay, so is there a weapon buff that doesn't buff unattributed damage? Yes, all of them. Unattributed damage largely doesn't get the benefits that are ascribed to a thing. It is the trigger of the things that it shouldn't be triggering. So in Venato's case here, we've got on status effect, inflict tower status effect. That is incorrectly worded. What it actually means is on melee status effect, or on Venato Prime status effect. Not just any status effect, as evidenced by the fact that I don't apply with my primary, my secondary, my usual abilities. It is a melee specific thing. This melee. But because unattributed damage isn't not this melee, it's null. This then goes, oh, well, I guess I'll accept it then. Was it a lightning from Vidaria, unattributed or fixed? No idea. No idea. I will leave that as a exercise for the viewer. Yeah. My understanding is that unattributed damage doesn't get the buffs. Technically, you could consider this a buff by, oh look, your thing that shouldn't be doing Tau is doing Tau. I guess that should be considered a buff, but technically the unattributed damage has remained unchanged. It's just that the Venato is now also triggering on it when it shouldn't. Excuse me. It's weird. Miriam saying, Jewel Toxica, proc, cold, oh god, and then Captain Calamity happened. I'm going to be more... I'm going to be waiting to just look at this for a moment. Captain Calamity, thank you very much for the 11 gifted subs, dragging me away from whatever that was about to be. Much appreciated there. That's going out to Dinosaur, to As He Woke, to Ruthless Welshie, to Luxran, to Evie, to Shocks Plays, to The Engineer 1, to Bullboy 2, to Guo147, to Lonesome, and to Chris. And then following up with that, clearly want to joining in on the activity there. Mirrorlade with the 20 gifted subs going out to the community, bringing out the Lavo no less. That's going out to Rainy Stars, to Sambay, to Kraus, to Mr. Rafts, to Surf Globe, to Radamanthus, I think, to Sharpshooter, to Finzi, to Novabass, to Darkness, to Rubido Lanthanum, to Moonfrank, to Tachimi Senpai, to J Shadows, to Atlas Moth, to Spruce, to CGD20, to Okami Hollow, to Jane39, and Unholy Moondog. Much appreciated both of you there. Much appreciated on that. Oh. Cheers all round. Cheers all round. That was short-lived? Yeah, a little calamity, yes. It's tough to challenge Mirrorlabe. To put it very, very simply, it is tough to challenge Mirrorlabe. Certainly when Mirrorlabe is here. All the same, much appreciated, and enjoy your second place spot. That's definitely there. What was that then from Mirrorlabe? It was Jewel Toxica, proc cold, but don't count for primary frostbite, and can increase your damage. And can and what increases what damage? Because Jewel Toxica is here, right? Nope. Nope. Jewel Coda Toxica, right? Yeah, I knew it was there, but yeah. That's a secondary, so yeah, secondary shouldn't trigger primary, because that's how it be. So what is it you are saying happens that is of note? What is the special bit? Because secondary not triggering primary is the standard. What's noteworthy? Noko, please, for the love of God, stop. Holy dude. How does a mushroom have so much energy? Frostbite Flare, Voltage, and Light Blight can trigger off other sources. They can trigger off other sources, yes. Primary Frostbite triggers from most sources of cold? Oh, right, okay, yeah. That's actually a fair point. So, the cold from Jewel Coda Toxica doesn't trigger it, despite so much other stuff triggering it. I really don't know what to tell you. Sedged1 said, find it funny to search unattributed damage on Google and the first result is Warframe Wiki. Is there a result that isn't Warframe is still a video game at that point. If I search myself here, let's see, unattributed damage. DuckDuckGo gives me Warframe, 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 Warframe. Minecraft, but it's actually talking about damage types. Then it's Warframe again. Warframe. Unattributed hurricane damage in nature. Just showing how there's damage that hasn't been accounted for. And then it's Warframe again. Yeah, it's a Warframe thing. Games don't just let damage exist. It's the idea of, where did this damage come from? I don't know. Should it trigger something? What would it trigger? Oh, the stuff that expects damage to come from somewhere. Well, it didn't come from somewhere. Oh, I guess it doesn't trigger then. You know, like, logical. How has DE managed to make it something else? Something just wrong. That's the bit that thoroughly shatters me on this one. Code has to follow steps. Code can't just decide for itself. You give it a path, it follows the path. The path might be nonsense. The path might lead to a dead end, and then it just has a fault. The path might lead to all kinds of issues. The programs do what they're told. That's the point. They are deterministic. If a program ever appears to be non-deterministic, it actually is deterministic, you just don't understand what you determined it with. So what did they do for unattributed damage to be able to trigger things that are supposed to be looking for specific triggers? That doesn't make any sense.
Finish your mission to find out what's inside.
When something can trigger both primary and secondary, despite being neither primary and secondary, and benefiting from neither primary nor secondary benefits, because it is neither, but will still trigger both. Yeah, I'm not going to make sense of that one. Calamity, you have yourself a good rest. And again, thank you very much for the support to the channel. Much appreciated. On a completely unrelated note, do those of you in chat see at the top of the chat, certainly if you step through them, because there's like the leaderboard for subs and bits that pops up there, do you see the thing that pops up and says, August, help me reach plus level 1? Do y'all see that, or is that for some reason only showing on my side? I actually don't know. Twitch is weird like that. You see it as well? Alright, cool. How many of you know what... Oh, JNat doesn't see it. JNat, do you see anything that pops up on the stream? I swear you... Wasn't it you that also didn't see the prediction earlier? Or was that someone else with a green name? Nope, that was you.
Another successful mission. Find extraction.
You see the gift leaderboards? Do you see the arrows that allow you to step through? That bit where I mentioned where you could step through. I've just completely blown Janat's mind that there's other things. Oh, you see gifts, bits, clips. Huh. Great, so some of you see it and some... Twitch, what the hell? I try my best. I try my best, and then... Yeah, it just break. Okay. Those of you who can't see it, you're on PC. Never mind, that rules out that one. I'm also on PC using Chrome. I'm going to open up my own stream in a different... I can't view it because it's a age-restricted stream if you're in the UK. No, wait, I should be able to. Did I just copy the wrong link? Oh, wait, I copied the moderator link. That's why I didn't go there. Nope, nope, it's still age-restricted. It just... yeah, whatever. Okay, well, even with the age restriction, I can still see subs, bits. Now I can't see the clips if I'm age-restricted. Huh. Okay, well, whatever. Aye, whatever. Oh, Elliot also sees another panel, gift badge upgrade. Ah, I can't see that for myself. Because, I'll be honest, I'm not the one gifting subs, am I? Weird stuff. Very, very weird stuff. I don't understand it. Cheers, Washbear. Okay. The goals are on the stream. Well, at least they're there. That's good. So, the point I was hoping to get to, rather than discovering that once again there are things that are hiding things, which is just weird, or maybe it is a 7TV thing. Is it a 7TV? Do I have? I have better TTV, which is showing it, but then JNat is using 7TV, which might be hiding it. I give up. Oh, and also there's no extensions. Okay, so whatever. Nothing makes sense. Moving on. For those of you who can't see it on the step through, apparently it's also below the stream, so you can see it there. Right. How many of you have ever even heard of plus level 1 in the context of a Twitch stream? How many of you have even heard of it, to let alone begin to process why Twitch is telling some people about it? Only from me previously and Clover? Fair enough. Yeah, a couple of you heard it because I mentioned it previously. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. For those of you who don't know, because a few of you don't know, basically, Twitch offers a 50-50 cut on subs and... actually, yeah, it's specifically subs. So 50-50 cut on subs to the streamers, as standard. 50-50. At plus level 1, that changes. It changes to 60-40, and at plus level 2, it actually changes again to 70-30. So effectively, an extra 20% per tier is sent to the streamer, taken out of Twitch's cut. If we consider the sub price here in the UK, can I find out what the sub price here is in the UK? Yes, I just need to go to a different channel and just quickly click what the sub button looks like. Here we go, yeah. So if I were to sub to this random channel I clicked on, 1 month sub, £4.99, so £5 UK. Cool. £5 UK. Now that includes sales tax, so we can divide that out, which means that the actual sub money going into Twitch is £4.17. 4.1666 recurring. And at the moment, Twitch takes half of that, which leaves me with £2.08 for a sub purchased here in the UK. Whatever your sales taxes and sub prices are in your country will of course vary. £2.08. If it were plus level 1, well, it would be £2.50. Straight up £2.50 at no extra cost to you lot.
That's it. You opened the relic. Finish your mission.
More of the money you would be spending would be going to the creator rather than going into Twitch's pockets. Simple as that. But the only way Twitch allows that to happen, the only way, is if enough people pay for their own subscription. Twitch Prime doesn't count. Turbo really doesn't count because that's not even a subscription at that point. Gift subs don't count. The only way is if enough people pay for their own sub. And when that happens, all subs will get the affected split. Gift subs, prime subs, main subs, all of them. And we are so close to making that happen. Because it only happens if the stream hits the thresholds for 3 months in a row. Oh, no, Mirror. You don't ruin anything. Don't you worry about it. Only happens if we hit that threshold 3 months in a row. And I think last month we got that to 85 out of 100.
Another successful mission. Find extraction.
So in the past, where I would be able to say, oh yeah, no, a prime sub is exactly the same as a paid sub. Technically they're not. Despite them supposed to be the same, a separate, unrelated incentive for the features and benefits you get of being subscribed means that they're not actually the same to the streamer. Unattributed similarity. I don't know. Couldn't really tie the two together there. 51v4 asking, what's the difference between bits and a donation? So, bits and tips. Bits are, you purchase them from Twitch, and then when you use them with a creator, the creator gets their cut. In the case of the cut for bits, if you use a bit directly on the channel here, I get 1 US cent per bit that you give me. So when you see Sir Kelton pop in with that 1 bit, Kelton is literally throwing a penny at me. Less than a penny UK. But then... Yep, there it is. Kelton just threw another penny at me. But then the amount spent to get one of those bits is more than that, because Twitch has an upfront cut to it, and there is sales tax if there is sales tax in your region. So, for example, if I go back to the prices of things my side, if I were to attempt to buy 100 bits, it would cost me... Where is it? £1.35. But I, as the streamer... 100 US cents would be 74 UK pence. So, just a bit over half. In fact, I'll give you the actual... yeah, I'd get 55% effectively there. If you go for the more efficient packages of bits, the cut gets better for me, of course. Because 1 bit is still 1 bit. Let's see, the best off will be... 290... What was it? 74 times 3 divided by 290... Yeah, with the 28% off pack I can see for 300 bits, I would get 76.6%. And the rest goes on either sales tax or Twitch. A tip, I basically get the entire amount. Aside from the transaction taxes, transaction fees applied by usually PayPal, aside from those fees, I get the entire amount. I will say that because of how transaction fees are handled, if you are looking to tip less than £2, it's probably better just holding off until you can afford to get a good bundle of bits. That is where Twitch really excels, is it bypasses the fees on microtransactions by allowing you to get a bulk amount of bits and then dole them out when you're ready, to whichever streamers you want to hand them out to. 1 bit here, 10 bits there, 2,000 over there. Excuse me, wherever you want to send them. Whereas a tip going through PayPal, the rates are certainly not as generous. Certainly not as generous. I've heard of ways to try and improve it, but I don't think those ways to improve it were actually released in the UK, at least not yet. So I can give you a direct example on this. Un momento. I know Mirror is currently AFK, so I can just quickly check this. Let's see, because I had a couple things come through not that long ago for the Tenostoma Warframes. Very nice people to send some support on that still. Much appreciated. Here we go, yep, perfect, back to back. Back to back. So, one person sent a £1 tip for the Tenostoma Warframes, and out of that, PayPal took 33%. 33%. Went to PayPal. Someone else sent me a £9 tip, and out of that, nearly twice, actually more than twice the fee came out, 74 pence, but that's 74 pence out of £9. That was only 8.2% fee came out of it. So yeah, if you go through bits, then a chunk of it goes on sales tax, and a chunk of it goes to Twitch. If you go through tipping through PayPal, a chunk of it goes to PayPal instead. And because of the way rates work out, if you're tipping less than £2, you're probably going to give a larger cut to PayPal than Twitch would have taken as a cut. Unless you go for a really small packet of bits for some reason. If you're going to go the bits route, you might as well get the benefit of buying a batch ahead of time. Does that make sense? Also, quickly for Brother Only, is the 25 out of 100 counting people who pay for their own sub this month? Yes. So if someone has a paid subscription that has renewed so far in August, or they've started a paid subscription in August, that's what counts up there, Brother Only. So, like, before I streamed this month, it was already on, I think, 8, because a few people have their start on the 1st of the month. I didn't stream on the 1st. But yeah. I think I've addressed that relatively cleanly, but I've probably also left a few people confused. My bad. It's not exactly a simple process. 51 saying, in my country, streamers just post the QR code on stream, or subscription bypass. Yes, not sure about alerts though. Yeah, if you don't do bits or tip through the stream, then there's not going to be any alert, because what's to alert the system to send an alert? Yeah. For me, it is through that link there, if you wanted to do a tip with it. And that does generate an alert. I'll have to investigate if they've updated bits pieces. PayPal's not alerted me an option, but PayPal also sends out a lot of trash in emails, I'll be quite honest. It's hard to find actual products when services advertise the most banal crap. I'll see if there is anything updated that'll allow me to get those microtransaction fees down, as it were. So that you worry less about that. Only saying, get my subs in 6-month blocks. Does it count as +6 on the renewal month or +1 on that month? It'll be 1 per month. It's on the day that that monthly thing renews. Even though you bought it 6 months in advance, if you bought it on, say, the 12th, then on the next 12th, 1 point goes into it. On the next 12th, 1 point goes into it.
Excellent work, Tenno. This will help our cause.
And
Tip.
that is what it looks like when a £1 tip comes through. There we go. Thank you very much for the demonstration there, Eureliu Prime. Was that actually you, Eliu, or was that someone else impersonating? That was you. Alright, thank you very much there, Eureliu Prime. Much appreciated on the £1 tip. And if I do a quick little refresh on the side here, that should update the PayPal to show me it. Yes! Yes, it did. There we go. I'm going to be very careful that I don't open up the details on stream so as not to dox you. And in your case, only a 12% came out of it. Only 12%, and I think that's going to come down to the currency conversion fees. Do we have GPay in the UK? GPay, I've not heard of it before now. Who runs GPay? So I might recognize it. Are we talking Google Pay, or is this some other G?
That's it. You opened the
It is Google Pay. Okay.
Finish your mission and take a look inside.
I'm sure it's used by some. I've never used it myself. If you don't mind my asking, Fitwonks, you mentioned about your country. Which country is that? Where there's just, you know, a different streaming expectation, really. Don't have to say if you don't want to, I'm just curious. It's available in the UK? Fair enough. A lot of things tend to be. Am I cracking any specific relics? Nope, I'm just dealing with the fact that I had nearly 10,000 relics. Oh god. Nearly 10,000 relics. If I were to open one relic every 3 minutes, which is obnoxiously fast, a relic every 3 minutes, that's still nearly 30,000 minutes. Which is what, like 500 hours? Yeah, 500 hours. That's a lot of hours. That is more hours than many people here have playtime on Warframe. And that would be to open up every single relic in a downright impossibly fast speed to maintain, honestly. And if you did that as a full-time job, that would still take the better part of a season. I hail from India. Okay. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea as to how payment processes work over in India. I'll be quite honest with you. I am completely unfamiliar with the financial structure of India. I realize now I can't even say with certainty I actually know the currency. I want to say it's rupee. I might be wrong on that. That's how little I know about India, sorry. I think I have some rupees somewhere though. Let me just grab a relic and then... Hold on. Was it that tough? Yeah, sure enough. Reserve Bank of India. I got it right. I do have Indian rupee. What?
There is a large platoon of Premier
I can't explain that to you right now.
Leave no one
But yes, I do just have some Indian rupees in a box in a drawer under my desk. Yeah. I do have a random drawer of crap that might be useful one day. You're absolutely right. And that includes a few rupee notes. Was it a 10 rupee note? I think so, yes. Am I holding on to a penny or my next house? There is obviously no in between. I think that might be... Hold on, oh gods. Yeah. 23 years old? I think it was about 23 years ago I got that. 129 rupees is about £1. Okay, cool. Yeah, that... I'm not even holding on to a Freddo. Got it. Not quite worth the material it's made of at this point. Which makes sense for a note that I somehow have come into the possession of nearly a quarter of a century ago. Make it make sense. Oh dear. If I ever seem slightly mad to you, that's why. What's the story behind the 10 rupee note? What was his name? I think it was a visiting student from a family who was looking at potentially staying in the UK but decided not to. Was just happened to want to share one. Who is Siva? Sorry, I was reading the numbers as numbers. My apologies. Siva. Got it. Yeah. What else is in that box? I'm curious. Gals. What else is in here? Let's have a look. Let's see. Just a bunch of coins. Those are all British coins. I should do something with them at some point. There is... There's a card in here. I can't get the card. Come on. Give me the chicken. Move these pennies out the way. I need to just get at the card. What card is this? Right. Just in case it's got identifying details on it. Oh, it has. Alright, we're not showing that on screen. Sorry, chat. That is very old, and yeah, that's actually, yeah, that's about 2 decades as well. That all can stay in that box. That's identifying. Anyway, all right, Regnak, you have yourself a good one. Thank you very much for joining in on the relic runs there, whilst I discovered ancient money. Okie dokie. No, only. No. But still identifying details all the same. Written onto it. Point is, you're not going to find out. What's my favourite Indian food, Asiva? I mean, I'm not going to be so basic as just say curry, because curry is so wide it doesn't even begin to qualify as an answer. But I'll be very honest with you. Not sure I can put a pin on a favourite right now. Not sure I can put a pin on a favourite. Separately, we do have a space open in the squad now, so if someone would like to join into the squad here, you're absolutely welcome to do so. We are cracking out some random relics for the sake of cracking out random relics, because we all have just too many of them, clearly. And there is a bunch of fishes closing, a bunch of good ones opening. Okay, I guess we'll be doing the... yeah, Neptune Exterminate. If you'd like to crack open some Neo relics, send me a message in game, the Kengineer, and I'll bring you on into the squad. There's a ductile. Plenty in time this time. Your spot has been secured. If it was a Amber style mutton biryani. Fair choice, fair choice. Alright. It was, yeah, it was Neo we're doing. Here we go. Any more? Oh, well, we've got a partially upgraded relic. Let's fix that all the way up to fully upgraded. Might as well take that. A little easier on the traces. There we are. That's a lot of relics. It is a lot of relics. When I say I have too many relics, I ain't messing around. Nearly 10k relics is a stupid amount of relics. Genuinely hundreds of hours to begin to open them all. And if I'm not careful, I would end up getting more relics in the process, and then where I'll be at. If you do it through Void Storms in Railjack, you might actually come out with more relics than you went in with, even whilst opening them. Do I spend my IRs? Not really. I don't have a reason to spend them at this point. So I have about 400 IR.
Eliminate all Corpus threats.
You haven't got 4 digits worth of relics yet? Yeah, fair do. I remember a time where Axie Fishers would be open and I couldn't run them because I didn't have Axie relics. And so I'd have to go and find an Axie relic before I could join my friend to open up a Fisher's, an Axie Fisher for whatever you had in his Axie relic. And of course we wouldn't get what either of us wanted.
That's it. You opened the relic. Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside.
Now here I am with hundreds, over 1,000 Axie relics, swimming in them. I actually couldn't trade these away quick enough if I tried. I had 6 relics a trade and I could do, what, 35 trades a day? That is 210 relics per day I could trade. So even in a month of non-stop trading every single relic away I could, I still couldn't get rid of them all. You time for credits? I don't think you can, though. Nope. Relics are open them or trade them.
The enemy is broken.
And people don't buy them for all that much in most cases. Why would they? They can also just have thousands of relics. You are largely better off just opening whatever relic you have than buying from someone else. How many hours do I have on the game? Not actually sure on that. Because like I can check my profile, but it only shows you the mission time. And my mission time is... Is it... Oh, this is right at the top. My bad. 2,833 hours. Just mission time. Yeah, that's a few hours right there. Oops, we went up. I didn't even notice. Sorry. I mean, you know what? I have 4 of each of the rest of them. I'll just go with this. Most of how many hours y'all have in the game? Oh boy. At this point, I'm not sure if that goes to my characters on EVE Online, but that includes a lot of kind of passive time or downtime, or if it goes to my character on RuneScape, but that also includes a bunch of passive and downtime, like standing in a bank, just not doing a lot. Literally called bank standing. They made a feature for it. I don't think I can currently access my play hours. Although I did send it to someone on Discord not that long ago, so maybe I can get that. Hold on, who was it I sent it to? I think it was probably... Nope, not that chat. Was it this person? I'm gonna keep checking for a moment. I really want to know. Oh, search broke. Yep, I just broke Discord search. Again, it breaks so easily. Whatever, I can't find out. Okay, never mind. I have a bunch in it. A lot. Too many. Yeah, that'll do. You have 25,000 hours on Dota 2 in one combined. That's a lot of hours, yeah. That is a lot of hours. You might have me a bit beat there, because I think on RuneScape I was somewhere up at like 6,000 or 7,000 hours. Somewhere in that ballpark. What is Dota?
Thanks for keeping
Defense of
mind
the Ancients, I
occupied
think it is.
while I was on chemo.
Yo, Kozilek, you are absolutely welcome. I hope the chemo has gone well as well, absolutely. I hope that has gone well for you. Thank you very much for the continued support on the channel here. Much appreciated. My pleasure to be a distraction and hopefully entertainment. So say again? Say what again? What? Defense of the Ancients? I think that's what Dota stands for. DOTA. It is actually a an acronym. It's not just Dota. So with 25,000 hours in it, you were like a pro player, right? Sorry, that was me. That was uncalled for. I take that back. Defense of the Ancients. Yeah, that's what I said.
The enemy is broken. Well done. Now get to extraction.
I only know that because of my first X, but there we go. They were at the time a Windrunner main, I want to say. That is about the extent of what I know of that game. The rest of it has been lost to time. Kozilek saying today pronounced free, so only on observation for the next few years. That is awesome news, Kozilek. That is absolutely awesome news. So happy for you that that's pulled through like that. Ooh. That is awesome. Alrighty. I'm sure I've made at least a dent in the relics, but there's still plenty more to crack open. I'm not even going to pay attention to which one I'm taking now. Relic of a bygone era. A Neo era. And away we go. Now, if we think about the lore of Warframe for a moment, the different eras of relics are supposed to correlate to different time periods, right, chat? The Lith, Miso, Neon, Axie eras with respect to the Orokin Empire. That is what I believe they're supposed to connect with, but my question then is, if they are related to different eras and we're obtaining items from those ancient eras, why is it the Prime items and Prime Warframes have their parts distributed across those eras? Let's say a frame would come out with a Lith for its blueprint, and a Miso for its chassis, a Neo for its near optics, an Axie for its systems. Why are they so spread? It can't be Eternalism, because DE said they have only used Eternalism twice. At least as far as serious story goes, and Relics are serious business. I know into spaceships, but it's pretty close. So if they've only used Eternalism twice, for the Off-Brated Drifter and for Sirius Orion, then it's got to have some other explanation. Oh my god, it's like the explanation for why there's so many elevators. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll take the Sephiroth piece, why not? It says crafted, does it say owned? Does that mean Nope, I have 2 of the blueprints as well, never mind. You have no idea what Miso could stand for? I believe it's going to have the same root as just the Mesozoic era of geology. Miso prefix meaning. Middle. Yeah, it just means middle. Ancient Greek. Alright. So we have the the Rock era, the Middle era, the New era, and then the Direction era? Axie prefix meaning? Does it have one? From Latin axis, or axis, meaning a lot of possible things. Apparently it could mean the heavens? Hold on. Axie, Latin, meaning heaven. No, I don't think it does mean that. I think that was just some random connection being drawn. Yeah, no. Okay. Not clear on that. From Azrael, according to the wiki, Axie is based off the word axial, which is the period of development and philosophy of many countries, which is why it looks more refined on the other relics. Okay. So, Stone Age, Middle Age, New Age, or Modern Era, and then Axial Era, the era of development. of, I suppose, something. Nah, it doesn't make sense. I guess they're just names. They are just names. They are supposed to sound interesting. It creates the impression of a timeline where there isn't a timeline. Because wibbly wobbly, sort of. Basically. From JNut, axisymmetric means exhibiting symmetry around an axis. Right. But then we're adding in things. And what we're adding in is a whole bunch of something to the word axis. Coming from axis again. So the rest of that doesn't actually mean anything in the context of an axis relic. Because the symmetric you've entirely added into the equation.
Intel suggests that our person of interest is in the vicinity. Search for the hostage and bring him home.
Okay. To point, can't say why they're split that way. Best wiki has is orders describing as quantum superposition for part of options. Well, that's just the what we could have inside. That's orders going that they are wibbly wobbly some things. We don't know what's inside until we open it, so it could be any of those things. It's using effectively the uncertainty principle in a weird mumbo-jumbo-esque way. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a good answer on that one. Warframe does a good job of not explaining. News to literally no one. You tried to ask AI for it, and the rest of your comment no longer matters to me. I'm going to be very honest. I'm not interested in the output of the hallucination engine. When I'm looking for facts, daydreams are not interesting. Pop ourselves into here. There we go. Let's get out of here. With the cheeky bits of invisible Lavos, because why not? Yeah, fair do, Logan. Fair do. That's not really a lot of anything. Let's go with these. Because apparently I don't have that blueprint. Yes, Tina. Warframe itself says the rest is left as an exercise to the player after a 10-minute lecture that doesn't even touch on the relevant subject. Yeah. Yeah. I love how, in terms of Warframe explaining things, they make a point like they explained during the new war how Eternalism works by using basically a single scenario that said that all things that can happen do happen. That's basically what they said. It was the scenario of... Oh, I've not been to Mara yet today. Oopsies. Which was it? There it is. It was the scenario of a person is presented with a choice. They have their mother and father in two separate cells. If they press the button to release one, the other one dies. If they press the other button to release that one, the first one dies. So the question is then, what happens? And the answer is supposedly both parents are dead, both parents are alive. That is supposedly eternalism.
There is a prisoner
And
Operations. Search for the holding location.
the only way I can process that kind of an answer is to say, well, at the point of there being a possibility of two different things happening, both things happened, but because we can see that not both things happened, either there are multiple timelines, or we're lying about the definition of both things happening. Yo! Matt Pasquale, thank you very much for dropping your prime here. Much appreciated. And welcome to the channel once again there. You got that lovely 2-month bronze badge. Cheers. Alright, I might as well dash this way. Super long dash, go, but... Actually, it was too long a dash because I needed to go up. I didn't really need to take that route, but, you know, with all that dash, what else was I going to do? Eternalism done down for school kids? I mean, if the devs are going to act like it was explained sufficiently for us adults, then I'd expect it to be sufficiently explained for us adults.
Thank you, Tenno.
Rescued, and away we go. What? This room confused me so much as a new player. I just couldn't get the hang of jumping through it in one single jump. Going down, it always makes sense. And going up, I just don't know why. It took me a wildly long time to figure out where to aim my bullet jump to do it properly. Oh, we got stopped. The old relic fisher bonus is gone. There we are. There, Jaina. You wanted a different name?
The captive has been secured. You've done your part, Tenno. We'll take it from here.
But yeah, no, it doesn't... The explanation is given in the quest doesn't really give me anything. And I can't really explain it. I've repeatedly re-looked at it, tried to understand it. If I go the new war transcript... That page is going to take a while to load. Oh, actually, less than I thought. If I search for both... Oh, that failed to find it. Why did that fail to find it? Okay. Malika? Yeah, there we go. That's the section I was looking for. Right, let's start the next one, and then I'll keep reading. So, which of the following is the theories of time? It's eternalism. Oh yeah, so the one that's not a theory of time is futurism. Second... What's the principle of failing presentism? Blah blah blah. Third... Here we are. Lintana's parents have been captured, but she has a choice. The button that opens her mother's cell door will flood the father's dead of radiation and vice versa. She presses one of the buttons. Under eternalism, which of the following statements is universally true? Her parents will survive, her parents will die. Correct. Versions of reality now exist in which each parent dies. Lintana is assigned to one of them, but the other is no less real and is theoretically accessible. I mean, are we to take from that that... It's not that the reality... No, the reality exists and she is assigned to one of them. Are we to take that there is not a Lintana in the other universe? Sorry, the other reality? That would make no sense. why would an individual cease to exist in a reality only until they are realized by the real them? I don't follow. Why is that not happening with the parents? Why is that not happening with everything at all times? Given that I don't see people blink out of existence, that is not an answer that I can accept for a reality that's supposed to be as equal. So then there is a Lintana in both. But when it says that Lintana is assigned to one, then we are dealing with a Lintana Prime, an individual Lintana, which somehow supersedes our interpretation of other Lintanas. Or, again, they're supposed to be equal, so there is now a duplication of the Lintana. And it all just falls apart.
Thank you, Tenno.
You know, like I said, I don't see anyone blink out of existence as I shot a Grineer out of existence. Well, the Grineer didn't cease to exist. I simply redistributed the Grineer's brain matter into a new coat of paint. Very different. Blink and you'll miss it, but different. Yep. I apparently don't have this, I'll just grab it. There's also saying, good news, finally going to therapy and counselling. Bad news, incredibly tired. Well, the good news is very good news, and the bad news is incredibly tired does tend to happen around here, it seems, so mostly good news then. Yeah.
We'll take it from here.
Oh, excuse me. Janet saying the versions of reality part goes against their own principles. Explained in the Duviri Zerman tablets what is the core thesis of the palimpsest of space-time, and apparently the answer is events can be rewritten, traces of the original persist. Right. I don't think I've actually seen that one, I'll be honest with you. It's in a cave somewhere. I know the devices you're on about, it's just I've not come across that particular line as all. Which also ties into, oh, why don't people seem to understand Warframe? Is it A, because they weren't paying attention? Or B, because the information was hidden in a cave somewhere, to be found by RNG? I wonder why people don't understand what's going on. Yeah. Fun fact, I know there is a bunch of lore about Jade, which is hidden in a cave somewhere. Teshin's cave, specifically. Why is it in Teshin's cave? It's there. Yeah. Would they have read it if they found it in the cave? I mean, whether or not people actually read what is on their screen is, at that point, a secondary matter. Part of a user experience in engaging with media is that the media does its reasonable best to introduce you to the media. If I were to write a very dry, I think, encyclopedia of a universe of my own imagination, I wouldn't consider that anyone's fault but mine, that anyone who got hold of the book would then not understand the universe. Because I've not really done my best to introduce them to it. Warframe doesn't even give us an encyclopedia. It does its absolute best to hide half the information, and then acts all surprised when you only have half the information. Hey, what do you mean you didn't know that's how this worked? What do you mean you didn't understand that these weird voice lines about cryptic nothings are actually really cryptic? Oh, I thought we were being straightforward about it. Were you now? Were you? What do you mean you have no idea who Procrastinator is? I might say it all feels like Warframe's story is so complex. If you leave it for a bit and come back, it's very hard to pick back up. That is true as well. Yeah, if you're already kind of behind on the details, you don't catch all of the spoilers and suggestions along the way. You just kind of go with the flow. Then you come back to the game again, you're like, okay, well, I guess some people got some information in a trailer or an AIG or something that happened 2 years ago. I don't know. Sorry, chat. I keep forgetting they moved the exit here to be not the center of the circle because too many new players got confused about the center of the circle being the extraction pad. My bad. They moved that for the sake of new players, making the whole thing look a little bit weird. My bad. You don't like the extraction zone change? Yeah, I know why they did it. I feel like it could have been done better. There was a statement this was intentional? Yes, it was intentionally done to help out new players. Because new players were landing on the pad, the extraction pad, and extracting, so they couldn't go to the side pathways. And rather than update the tile to have an extension to indicate this is the extraction pad over here, they moved the extraction circle to just overlap part of what otherwise looks like the extraction circle, making no visual indicator other than the minimap to veteran players that anything changed. And also in contradiction with other extraction tiles, which are the entire circle. It is another case of Warframe teaching you something diegetically, and then breaking its own rule. It is intentionally wrong, and then wags its finger at you for acting like it's a problem. Which I call a sticking point. Yeah. From Brother Rony, I think a lot of story beats in the old piece, and the Tau expansion is going to be very heavily unreliable narrator inspired. I have my reservations on a lot of aspects of story writing in general, not least of which from literally taking courses on the exact same. It's kind of been drilled into me a little bit. But the point is that when it comes to using themes of deceptive communication, you've got to be careful as to the application and understand that you are taking an audience member along for the experience. What experience are you trying to give them? If that experience is to understand, then for the love of God, give them something they can trust understanding. Yeah, here's the same extraction tile again. So let's open up the full map. And you can see the circle there. The circle is now no longer in the circle with this. Let's see, I'm still not in it, still not in it, still not in it, still not in it. You would think maybe I'm in it at this point. Still no, still no, still no, still no. There, I'm finally in it. So here, my triangle is fully inside the green circle. Fully. In both forms of the map, I am inside of the zone. But I'm not. It starts there. Maybe like there. Yeah. Now I've dipped my toe into it. So, anywhere around here, even here, isn't extracting. They've made it this tiny segment there. Yes, as you go. Ken is in the circle, Ken is not in the circle. So yeah, even the circle lies. When they could have, you know, put something. Just take one of these tiles, take one of these things, and extend it out here. Just Just a little bridge. Just a little bridge will do it. And we know what a little bridge of extraction looks like because we've done it with the Entrati Labs, where we stand on a little bridge and then walk into the mouth. So yeah, the whole thing doesn't actually show you what it looks like. The circle of the pad is not your extraction tile, despite it being the extraction tile in various other locations, like on Mars missions we were doing earlier. The circle on the minimap is also not correct to the actual location. It's smaller than it looks. And it was a change from the past, entirely because new players were having to awkwardly jump around. And I will agree, yes, it was a bit of an awkward, careful jump around to get to the side avenues if you wanted to explore there, such as for the sabotage caches. So, understandable reason for a change, but implementation just creates a bit where you go, oh, am I not there? Oh, but I thought, oh, my bad. No. Another one of those weird things. It's so D tier of issues. It's right the way down there. But you feel it. Can't tell me you don't. What frame have we not picked up anything for? Neja. Do I have a Neja one going around? Yeah, I do. There we go. Oh, that's got a few different Warframes in there. That's a fun one. There we are. Yeah, fun stuff. Warframe's lore is complicated. Various parts of Warframe's story have been removed from the game. Occasionally bits of those might come back again, like with the Jade event that keeps popping up every now and then. Others are just gone forever, like with Scarlet Spear, Orphic's Venom. Orphic's turned into a separate node which doesn't have anywhere near the same gravitas. There are events from before I even played, which I can only barely reference.
There is a large platoon of Grenier Marina Station.
And then there's yet more story that's just kind of off to the side, and you have to go find it. And what, you don't like just kind of reading random terminals hidden in a cave somewhere to see if you actually understand the game? Well, booty-hoo. Just go shoot like the idiot mercenary you are. Oh, sorry, Mirai. Yeah, I don't have any of those relics. Sorry. I can't get you Excalibur Prime. That relic, it just keeps eluding me. But you know what? According to Eternal, it's... I will say, my fundamental disagreement with the concept of DEA's interpretation of Eternalism, but otherwise just many worldsy stuff, whenever it's based on decisions. They say, well, one thing could have happened, and another thing could have happened, so both of them have happened. Define decision. Go ahead and define in a fundamental, not personally discernible, but fundamental way, decision. Go ahead and define decisions in a way that can be described via physics. Also, Neja straight away. What do you know? Because you decide where you walk, and you decide what you do and how you speak, how you carry yourself, and you make semi-conscious decisions about a lot of this as well, and then you make some unconscious decisions, which is just more kind of the process of how you're going through things, and then, you know, your pets, if you have any, they make decisions, and various other animals that just exist around you make decisions, and how far down that tree do you go for what a decision is? And if you do find a line where you stop, why have you stopped there, and how does that not apply further up the chain again? And at that point then, if the decisions that splinter off are what you did do and literally everything else you could have done, I mean, you might as well just say there's infinite realities. Because there may be 360 degrees in a circle, but there's not 360 points. At any moment, I could choose to point this in a literally infinite number of directions. Literally infinite. Oh sure, I now need to have the process as to how I get to said directions. So each direction has a discrete motion towards it from that next step, I guess. But there's an infinite number of destinations at minimum. And how one chooses to get there is, again, another form of infinite. So where's the line? What are we defining? And that just doesn't ratify for me. So I, until given reason otherwise, I discard it. The concept of a decision relies on, dare I say, the human perception of choice. Physics doesn't care what we think. Existence doesn't care what we think. Existence exists. Also, Logrim, why did you not shout any louder? I completely missed this. 52 minutes ago. I am so sorry. Let's refund you the points on that. I don't care, I've changed it to the orange for you. That was nearly an hour ago and silently just slipped through of everything we've been saying and doing. You are too polite, Logrim, to have left that just go unanswered. You're in no rush? Yeah, no shit. Hi, Mr. Streamer. If it would be no trouble for you at all, could you maybe please, possibly at some point in the next millennium, change that orange? In some timeline, I did. Okay, you try to notify me? Look, I know I'm not that good at reading chat sometimes, but y'all. What? My apologies. There we go. Relic. Correct. Who knows? Maybe there was a bit... Oh. Miracle Raven. There you go. Beep. I'll take your points instead then. You've at least put it onto cooldown. Someone can't change it right now. That's a thing. What was I going to say before I got thoroughly distracted by that? Nope, it's gone. Probably just some silly joke I was going to make then. Cause say, how about concept of time? How can we tell our pets see time same as we? I mean, let's start by defining how we see time then. This is something that comes up instead a lot when people are like, oh, how do I know that I see your green as my green? Blah, blah, blah. And it relies on the idea that what we are seeing is a colour. Rather than we have learnt that a signal we receive in our brain correlates to a colour. Those do not mean the same thing.
Mission complete.
When a
Excellent work, Tenno.
02550 pops up on my screen, the greenest green that green could green out of my screen, I don't see that as 02550 RGB. Those photons go through my glasses, go through my eyes, into the retina, it gets picked up there, causes some electrical process I'm not going to pretend to understand, which creates a recognition of a pattern within my brain, and I understand that pattern is really bright green. But I don't see green in the way that people, when they've raised the whole, oh, do I see green in the way it's, that you see red? No. I see a thing and I know it's green, and someone else sees a thing and they know it's green. unless they lack the capacity to either see or know the green. If someone is completely colorblind, then they have no way to discern green. And if someone has never come across the concept of green, they might understand it as a kind of blue, which is a thing, by the way. That's a whole other bucket of fish to get yourself into. So when it comes to then the concept of time, as you raise there, Kozilek, do other people or other animals experience time differently to us? Start with our understanding of time in the first place. We don't experience linear time, despite the fact that there is no physical alteration going on to change our time for us. We don't have a chronometer in our head tracking it like some kind of quartz or atomic device. Our perception of time is very malleable. The whole watch pot never boils and all that fun stuff. How I can spend 2.5 hours cracking relics and talking crap about the universe and games and whatnot. But you try and get me to do that for the circuit, and I will be demanding subs by the wave. Such is the passage of time. So as we don't even have a consistent perception of time in itself at the first place, how can we begin to compare it? What concepts remain unthought of so far? Oh, that's an interesting one. I don't know.
We'll get to extraction.
Certainly nothing I've thought of. Certainly the concept of purple elephants has been thought of. Which for some reason I'm on now. Couldn't imagine why. Alright. Can all four of us stand just outside the zone to surround it? Let's find the corners of the zone as far as this pad is concerned. There we go. I am just outside the zone here. Elio is just outside the zone there. Let's have Miralabe and Ductile split up as well. We'll create 4 points outside of this zone. This is the extraction zone. This is the extraction zone. All of us are inside the green ring. It's not even a little bit. Every single one of us is in, depending on how I spin. Yeah, there I can get all of our icons 100% inside the zone. This is stupid. Alright, let's extract. Oh dear. Also, we see people's stream delay. Ductile stream delay is about 2 hours. Dear. Apparently this is the least owned thing I have out of this lot. What topic have we yet to cover today, chat? We've been over unattributed damage. We've been over creative processes. We've been over upcoming videos. We've been over relic counts and sources, eternalism, the concepts of vision and time perception, the definition of a decision. Yeah, sorry, Doctor. I think you just have bad internet. I'm going to be honest. That's all I can really come up with. Ezreal heat death or cold crunch? When you say cold crunch, I'm less familiar with that. Big crunch, as opposed to big bang. I understand the whole idea that maybe it slows down and comes back again. But cold crunch? Not familiar. Preferred way to die? Not. I intend to live forever. And I mean, so far so good. So, yeah. Keep a good thing going. Oh, you meant big crunch. Okay, fair enough, yeah. Insufficient information for meaningful answer. Did I get that quite right? Close enough. There is as yet insufficient data from any Lancer. Damn it, so close. For those you're wondering, that is from a story by Isaac Asimov. Definitely worth reading. The Last Question. Definitely worth reading. An interesting interpretation as to a way it could be answered. Little sci-fi story. And emphasis on little. It's not one of Asimov's, giant novels works. Don't worry, I'm not subjecting you to the entire Foundation series with that recommendation. Although you also should. Note, series, not TV show. Plus no. A clip of that came across my feed on YouTube actually just yesterday. I watched the clip and I went, oh dear god, no. What have they done?
The enemy is broken.
Plus no.
Now get to extraction.
Yeah, pass on that. But reading Asimov? Oh yes. Oh yes. Dang it. I completely flubbed that jump. And that turn. Oh, this is a bad mission. This is a bad one. Yeah, those of you who are familiar with the two concepts there though, Heat Death and Big Crunch. Big Crunch, as I mined there, is the idea of a universe that, as far as we can see, is expanding and accelerating expansion, then comes back the other way and collapses in. We have no particular evidence to say if or how that could happen. There is insufficient data from Meaningful Answer. Likewise, Heat Death. Heat Death, we do have more to point to it. That one on the old, as things continue to burn up and spread out, entropy just kind of has its way, and eventually there will be unlimited chaos. There will be no order left for energy to make things happen. Every ounce of intentional directional substance would be consumed and burns out into cold dust. Could happen. Billions upon billions, trillions, I don't even know how many years from now. Beyond our comprehension and beyond our need to worry, I'll be honest with you. Far greater questions exist at that point. You say, only watch TV shows so far, Mom is a fan of the books, so read them someday. Very different experience, I can tell you already, from just the one clip I've seen, because I am very familiar with the characters supposedly presented. Supposedly. It's an interpretation of an interpretation made for TV.
There is a large platoon of Grenier Marine stationed
But yeah,
here.
if you do like a heavy sci-fi, bit thick reading, because it's Asimov, we're not going to go cheap on this, then yeah, the Foundation series, from start to finish, absolutely solid. At times, might lose you a bit, such is the way. From Big Soft, is it the big rip more possible currently? I mean, define more possible. I'll be honest. There is... We have information that it could be possible, and there is... We don't have information that it could be possible, and that's pretty much the extent of end of the universe things. Bearing in mind we have a data point of 0. Not even 1. 0. We know the universe has come into existence because we exist. Whether that came into is infinite or not, we don't know. Did it always exist or not? Either way is a terrifying concept. We simply don't know. We can't even fathom the question properly. How, or even if the universe will end, well, that we really have nothing on. We can extrapolate, but we're extrapolating from the tiniest sliver of experience. We are looking out into the echoes of the universe and going, huh. So what happens next? Why are you giving it to on someone you're not following? Did you at any point pop into here, Dino? No, I can see you never even sent a message before now. Yep. Welcome on in, by the way. If you've just slipped into the stream at some point in the past, Twitch sometimes goes, hey, you know what? Give that one a sub. They seem like a handsome person. Give them a sub. Twitch be like that. If it was from a J-Chan raid scam. What? Wow, you really are so far outside this community, I don't even know what you just said. Welcome. I suppose an introduction is in order. I'm a engineer, solver practical problems here in Warframe. Easily a go-to source of guides and exploration of concepts throughout the game if you need to understand what the heck is going on with the mechanics in this one. But don't ask me about fashion. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, don't ask me about fashion. Welcome, welcome. Kozak saying, yeah, what if the universe bumps into something as it expands? Now that is a question, isn't it? I don't think I'm qualified to answer. I don't think I'm qualified to ask the question, let alone begin to fathom the answer. But yeah. J-Chan is another streamer. When he ends a stream, we get sent to another streamer ready to raid.
Leave no one standing.
You get sent to another streamer who themselves is ready to raid? Or you just raid into another stream, which happens in a lot of places. In any case, welcome on in all the same. Are you also a Warframe player? If so, it would make more sense to be here. If not, yeah, I'm as confused as you are. Because outside of very limited exceptions, and I do mean really limited, all of our raids have been from fellow Warframers.
Finish your mission to find out what's inside.
Okay, yeah. At least you're within the right community then. You've not just turned up here going, wow, what is that majestic caped fellow doing? And it is a majestic cape, let's be real. The way it turns basically just corrupted, muted gold when I get a Fisher bonus, that just works for it. Oh, it's gone. I had my 30 seconds of satisfaction. Ew, didn't really get stuck there. And hydrate. Cheers. Did I ever get a chain for the Edge of Eternity's Black Hole Pendant? I did not. No, that is still on my eventually get to it to-do list. Yeah. It's still just under my monitor. I cannot miss it. Just like many other things I have around here which are telling me please don't forget us. And I don't forget some of them. Mind Implosion's asking, what if the universe is almost ripe and soon God will pluck it from the world tree and blend it into her smoothie? A very interesting question, not one to which I can give you a good answer. However, hold on, let me find the title. Aha! It's an older sci-fi story and not the best, but still one that touches on the thought you're having there. The Galaxy Primes by E. Smith. Fair warning.
Mission complete.
E. Smith is a writer from an older era. There are some very not woke topics. But otherwise, yes, The Galaxy Primes by E. Doc Smith touches on an interesting parallel to the thought you're having there. And that is all I'll say, because I don't want to ruin it. It is also a relatively easy read. Not like super heavy writing or whatnot. I think I was like 13 or so when I read it. Just a few years ago. Just a couple. Also, I am running dangerously low on my hydrate options here. Yo, Ellie, thank you very much for gifting a sub over to Snake Raider. Much appreciated there. That's brought you all the way up to 135 gifted subs on the channel. Cheers indeed. You know what this means, Elliot? You've reached a milestone of 135. Next milestone, 1357. Yep. I would suggest maybe Mirrorlame could do that one for you, but I think Mirrorlame's already past that. Here we go. Dash. It's always a satisfying ability. And then I just roll at a rock. The duality of Warframe. This is really satisfying. And now I'm rolling on terrain. Yep. Hi. Wow, it's been a while since I've been swapped like that. Okay. Oh. I see. There is a reason I suddenly got swapped like that. I thought it was an enemy that somehow survived and pulled it off. Nope. It was Mirrorlane. Of course it was.
The relic has been cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's
Speed is
inside.
key? Speed is key in Warframe, absolutely. It's not just about having the most damage or having the most tank, it's about being able to effectively complete missions in a way you're comfortable with. Because the one thing you do not want to be speedy at is how quickly you burn out. And mission complete. Just butt scoop my way in there. What if there's a disc on the shoulders of elephants riding a turtle out there? Oh well, there's more turtles. Turtles all the way down. Damn, you are finding a lot of sculptures today here. That was nice and close. Ah! You bastard! I was going to grab that. That was not means for you to get there quicker. How absolutely dare you? Ooh, gold. Always forgiven. Fair enough, Dino. You have yourself a good one. Enjoy your fashion.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Did you know, chat, you can use the WASD keys to move the arrow around? Or the cursor. The arrow. The cursor. You can use WASD to move the cursor here. Mind Implosion, thank you very much for the 90 bits there. Much appreciated. 90 minutes, change the world, final message, goodbye. I hope it's not your final message. We'll see you again. Hopefully. Excuse me, sorry. Don't know when, but I'm sure we'll see you again. Why, oh why does that feel like something my nan once said to me? No matter. You sound that some frames should have their own driver's license? Oh, right. Sorry, you mean like players should need a license to operate those frames? That's I was wondering, like, is there a requirement that some frames should be literally driving around the map? Are they the right types to drive and you don't trust the others? Took me a moment to realise you meant licenses for using those frames, not for the frames to use. At least I think that's what you mean now. I've reread it. Isn't language fun? Every day I'm reminded as to why lawyers get paid so much, because goddamn does language make no sense. The words do not wordingly.
Cracked open. Finish your mission to find out what's inside.
Pop. That should take out a bunch. Well, the toxin procs will kill them eventually.
Now get to extraction.
And we're on location. How many frames even have a vehicle of their own? Urani has one. Noko. Noko, we did discover on a different stream, has a vehicle as well. Yep. Bacon noodle on that one. Oh my word, is that another thing? What is it this time? What is it? What is it? What? It's... Oh my lord, would you look at that. Wait, I've already scanned them all. Okay. We are here witnessing credits. Oh, and it's a good one, 60 minutes. That's a very rare crate. Nice. If only this were the void, then that would have been former. Oh well. Ah, the UI break. I'll take this. Ta-da! No, I think the 60 minutes of booster actually just stacks onto the boosters that Mirrorlave gave me earlier, so... I've gone from 43 days and 16 hours of credit booster to 43 days and 17 hours of credit booster. Da-da-da-da! Asking, wait, what? So Jada, here is the proof for it. Here is the proof. Whilst you're in a mission, you can pause at any time, or just open up the pause menu, even if it doesn't pause. You can open up the menu, and whilst you're in that menu in a mission, you can have a look at your abilities. Let's grab Urani and show you what that looks like. Which Urani do I grab? Let's grab the one with shards on it. There we go. No more thoughts. Okay, where's my fisher? Here's my fisher. Let's efficiently do the fishing. Fish. Ali knows what I'm doing? Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, we're going to go into the mission. We're just going to run a Urani mission, because why not? She gets to, what was it? Tornado, storm, something or other sometimes. Would I recommend Arcane Sculpture on Lavos? Interesting question. I've not really messed around with it too much. I need to test if it actually applies to the 3, because the 3 is what triggers it. Anyway, first of all, if you go here, we go in the menu, we can see abilities. Huzzah! Nice and simple. You know how that works. But if I activate this, the abilities option is gone. And so by that definition, whilst we are riding a vehicle, we lose access to see our abilities. Because, very simply, we have activated that and we can't see it. If I use the augment, which makes it where Miralina sits at Urani's side, we retain access to that menu. Does that happen on the Atomic Cycle? Good question, let's find out. Oh, okay. So it doesn't happen with the Atomic Cycle. So it's a matter of Warframe vehicles. Not just vehicles, Warframe vehicles. Oh, it has its... Oh, actually, that's a good point, yeah. Does it have its own abilities?
You have broken their ranks and they are on the run.
Does it show its own abilities? Of course, yeah, it does. Yeah. Never mind. So yeah, we lose access to see our abilities whilst we're on a vehicle. That's the rule we're seeing. Can I use a Kate here? Do I have a thing for the Kate? There it is. Unable to activate. Vehicle. Don't forget. It is a vehicle. So that is the point so far. That whilst we are riding a vehicle, which I should probably continue doing right now, we can no longer see our Warframe's abilities. Am I right? And up top, there we are. Little odd. Stenia might be able to, but might not be coded as a vehicle. That is its own wonderful bundle of issues. But yeah, we're going to pop out this mission, and now we're going to play as Noko. Right as soon as we actually get out of this screen. fun fact, if you're a solo, you can actually skip this screen by spamming space. There we go. Right, so, Loco time. Let's pop us into the same mission. All the same conditions, everything we need to care about right there, absolutely. Everyone's just going to slam home any relic they care about.
Sector is mine.
Here we go. Oop, very weird zoom in. Okay, we've loaded in. Loco's very happy about that. And we can see we've got our abilities tab right there. There we go, nice and simple. And now I'm going to activate reroute. It's gone. Sprodling form is a vehicle. It is a way to alter and enhance your movement capabilities, and you lose access to the ability to see your abilities in the pause menu, just like with other vehicles. Reroute is a vehicle. Yeah, that's all I got for you on that one. It doesn't make any more sense than that. That's the entirety of it. Yeah, be left my reroute double part. Oh, you don't want to be doing that, yeah. There's not much room in the car park, so you got to be nice about that. Oh, I'm sorry. One of the spaghetti code is this. Oh, don't even get me started on the spaghetti code. Just don't. What's the module? What's the module? What's the where? The module? The module? What do you mean module is marked? Still going. I'm gonna find out. Oh, you found and activated this, which means it's an unidentified mod. 2 of them. Hence, module unknown. Okay then. That is... Yep, that's Warframe. I'm actually surprised I fit through that gap on the tree. Not gonna lie. As soon as I was approaching it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get stuck on that. Nope. The hitboxes were actually quite generous on that one. Working as advertised. Maybe more growing powers? We will see shortly, won't we? And when you're moving quickly, how are you supposed to react to the spores in time? It feels like they appear on my screen as I'm passing them. Oh hey, there's a few of you. I don't really want any of these, I'll just take that one. Why not? How many blueprints do I even have at this point? 26! It's about to be 28. Yeah.
Another job well executed.
Let's see, what did we get? Well, we certainly got things. We certainly got mods. So glad I went back for those. Thank you, Mirror Lake. Yeah. Noko. Weird one. Not that anyone was even slightly contesting that thought, but yes, Noko is a weird one. Right. We can probably squeeze out 1 or 2 more of these. 2 if we're sensible about it. Let's see what we got here. I have hopefully reduced my relic count by a substantial value. I'm not going to double count to see how many there are at end of stream. We're just going to have to take it on faith that the number has gone down. We spent long enough at the start of stream literally counting my relics. I don't need to do that twice in one day.
There is a large platoon of Grenier Marines stationed here.
In fact, I don't think I need to do that twice in 1 year. Doosh. Fun fact, abilities are more powerful if you do your own sound effects. It's another one of those things that Warframe never really explains to you, but if you think about it, you always knew it to be true. It's just how it works. And what is down here? Nothing of interesting. I tried, it failed, whatever. Moving on. No! Darn Noko. Not even a Noko in the squad, it's subsumed Noko. Bright on it.
Another successful mission. Fine extraction.
You do have to wonder what D were doing when it came to coming up with, hey, what if we made a Warframe ability that's a trampoline? And then they went and did it twice. I don't mean the 2 different mushrooms, if you want to include that they did it 3 times, because they also did it with Folly. Arothi's saying, does that only work if your mic is open to lobby? Oh, no, 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 no. No, if anything, I recommend having open mic off. In-game voice chat is a good way to shock poor newbies before they've even come across the malicious void entity that does them to them anyway. You go into a random mission, you open up the voice chat and just whisper at someone, rap, tap, tap. They might just quit the mission right there and then. And then you get host migrated, and that's no fun for anyone. Yeah, best not. Alright. This will probably be our last of the relics here. Oh yeah, Dom. Welcome on in. See, I remembered this time. Not Domine. Dom. Let me click that. Right, let's go. I have been given an energy charm by my Kavat. Ah. Oh, that's so nice. Ah. Lavos gained a energy charm. But, yeah. So it turns out that you can't skip out on certain parts of charm just by not meeting the criteria. Some of them will still happen, even if you can't use them. Why? Because screw you. That's why. Need to dash. I was going to fall there. There it is. Don't worry. I'm not going to quit the mission. I am not superstitiously scared of Wally. But thank you, Kozilek. And that is the mission complete. Let's make our way out of here. I feel like I just kind of vibe at enemies at this level. You don't so much kill them as just confirm they were already going to die. Are there any superstitions I do hold? Not really, no. Not really. Nah. I just don't really have any draw or interest in it. Any kind of weird little superstition-y bits. Not luck, not ghost, none of that. Lucky enough to not pick up any from family. I mean, there's a little bit of superstition in family, but it's mostly in just kind of light-hearted nature of, ha ha ha, you know, these things happen. Nothing real serious. I imagine if you quizzed pretty much any one of my immediate family members on any of the superstitions that even mention day to day, they just go, oh yeah, nah. Did I encounter that Urani bug you mentioned earlier? Probably not. Or maybe I did. I don't even know. I'll be honest, there's a lot of bugs with her. Let's see. Recent bug that makes her take Marina's colours for the rest of the mission. Yeah, no idea. Not something I really pay enough attention to, because I don't really play Urani in the first place. Yeah. Don't say I didn't want to disturb Twitch finally fix the issue, hence being here. Yep. Didn't want to disturb the relic running available for capture. Oh yeah. The whole point was you're allowed to disturb. You literally pay for the privilege to disturb, and you've actually chosen a pretty good time right now. So, LU, Miralabe, Ductile, thank you very much for joining in on the relic fishes there, and enjoy all of the loot you got. What is this? Wait. Huh? Never mind stats and things existing. Why are there 7 slots? Nothing. Nothing with arcane slots and Warframe stats has 7 slots. DE, what have you done? If I close and reopen it. Nope. Okay, it's still there. I'm going to leave that squad. Dom, DM me in game, would you please? So I know exactly who I'm inviting. We can get that sorted there for you, absolutely. If you don't know how to do that, !join gives you a simple copy-paste message. We'll get that avatar for the arena sorted out real quick. There we are. And we know it's you because it's the same name as on Twitch. Makes it super easy. Perfect. Yeah, this goes out to anyone who literally purchases things from me. You do not need to worry about asking for what you bought. Excuse me. Claim it. That's the whole point. You bought it. Have it. I want you to. Alright, for those of you watching, a flashbang incoming, because we're about to use the capture scene, which is nothing but pure white everywhere. Yeah, so if you're in a dark room with your phone squished up against your face, now's about time to move it away. Alright, let me give you a nice reference point for you to aim directly at my head. Yeah, it's probably looking about good. Alright. Let's move in to grab this. Oh, that's going to be fun to put in later. Yep. I see that white energy on the cape. That's going to be fun. And we got some petals up there. Alright. I will try to get most of that to stick in, but some of it will vanish away. I'm just going to tell you that now. There you go. Is this a thumbnail? Nope. So this is a reward from the charity drive we did last week, actually, where people get to add their avatars, like this avatar right here, to the giveaway arena, which we use whenever we're doing giveaways. So yeah, thank you very much there. I'll get that added before the next stream. Oh, no, wait, no, next stream is on Sunday. I will not have the opportunity to do it, so that'll be on Wednesday stream. I can guarantee I'll be done by. Thank you there, Dom. What's the funniest book I've ever seen? God, I don't even know where to start. Maybe the time when I was a right rookie, playing Green Banshee. Yeah, I got it really early on. And I would shoot one enemy, and another enemy would immediately spawn on top of that enemy's corpse, looking away from me. So I shot that one. It was an exterminate mission. I just went pop, 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 until eventually I killed enough enemies. The mission said, yep, that's the exterminate complete. And up pops Lotus. The enemy is broken. Well done. I'm like, yeah, no shit, they're broken. They were just continuously spawning on the same spot. Was this a lure mission? Nope. This was on Mars. This was a Mars mission. Hence why I was playing Green Banshee. Yeah, doesn't make much sense. Doesn't make much sense at all. It just happened. This was a while ago. Yeah, Warframe has so many bugs, it's kind of hard to really pick a favourite, but that one does stand out as certainly an oddity that happened. Most effective newbie ever, I suppose. Sistra Parvos plus Lich was a fun bug. Oh yeah, Sistra Parvos and a Lich spawning in a mission where a Lich shouldn't even exist in the first place. A Corpus Railjack mission had a Kuva Lich half spawn in it. What's worse is that I saw it as a Kuva Lich, but someone else saw it as their own adversary. So we had different adversaries occupying the same spot at the same time, and neither of them was supposed to be there. I'm saying this so that if everyone else got a leg. I don't know how that even happens. I don't know what lines of code could possibly activate in what sequence at that moment to make that happen. All I know is it's called the Stig. And with that that is indeed where we are going to wrap it up today. Thank you very much, everyone, once again for the bits, the subs, the gifted subs, and the tip there. Cannot forget that tip there from Aurelio Prime. Much appreciated, every single one of you. Didn't one of them say they couldn't even kill it? Oh yeah. I knocked down the Lich, and I couldn't stab it, so I thought it was someone else's, but it turns out it was mine. And also, it was, I think, Queen who saw it as their Coda Lich, rather than Kuva Lich. Yeah. Game be brokey. And we'll be back on Sunday with some more brokey gaming. But in the meantime, we've reduced my relic countdown. That is a success in my book. I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you on Sunday for some more good old Warframe. Ta-ta for now.